Good morning, Anton.
Good morning, Cassidy.
Well, it's not morning there. It's like afternoon, right? I can.
It's like evening. It's like evening.
What time is it? Like 4 or 5 or 6?
It's 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Okay. I could never remember your time there. So it's like 10-hour difference. Okay. I will remember that from now on. How was your day?
Uh, Pretty good actually. I
Did you get some
had
work?
a
Hmm.
I had a rest. I was fishing all day.
You were fishing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So no work today?
I decided to give my eyes opportunity to have some rest.
Yeah. See some trees and water and stuff. Very cool. Did you catch anything?
Yeah. I don't know how do you call that kind of fish because it's a river fish. It is not a kind of marine fish. So I don't know how do you call that. But
Is
yes,
it
I
a
caught some
catfish?
fish.
Does it have a mustache?
No, no.
Are there
It's
catfishes in there? Could you catch catfishes?
um, I, uh, I did hear some joke about catfish, but I don't remember what it was.
They're cool. Catfishes are cool, and they're the typical river fish that you catch if you go fishing in, I guess, any river in the south of the United States. So I was just wondering if it was similar. I wonder what fish it is. River fish. Can you eat it?
Uh, what do you mean?
Like, will
Yes,
you
yeah,
will you cook your fish and eat
yes,
it?
yes. It's we live in one of the most ecologically pure region in the world.
Let's guess that's
So
true. Nice. That's probably a delicious fresh fish with
yes,
like with one head.
it's very delicious. And sometimes my cat refuses eat anything else, but only that fish.
Wow, that's really nice. Because if you catch a fish in, for example, the Hudson River of New York, sometimes you might get like a human foot, or that fish will have like 6 heads. Shouldn't eat it.
I remember a joke in The Simpsons where a fish with three eyes.
Yeah, I'm no, and I'm sure it was about the Hudson River. Disgusting. Um, I find bodies there all the time. Well, because there's two rivers. There's the Hudson River and the East River, and the East River is where the mafia used to put um, bodies back in the day. That's where they used to put the
I
bodies.
I, I thought I actually thought it's kind of Hollywood stuff.
They really used to do it, and usually but this was back, I mean, years ago when there wasn't as much. Uh, Now it's pretty. I don't know how prevalent the mafia is, um, but back in like the 40s, the 30s and 40s, it was they were definitely running things and killing people.
Our our mafia were very kind about that. They just they just leave people. in taiga, where there's no civilization, and they leave them without boots simply, and
Yeah,
it's it's very hard to to survive when you know, minus the temperatures, and you without boots.
yeah. Well, the Russian mafia is probably the most notorious.
And they do it because um, the, it's kind of there's no legislation about that kind of thing, because they they could say that that guy just didn't pay for a ride, and they just refused to take him
Hmm,
to their car, and
interesting. So where's the Russian mafia? Do they still have a big presence in Russia, or not so much?
not so much. It's there were time in 19th when mafia was really really spread it around. But now the guys from mafia, they actually are government, our present government. It's
Mm.
our past mafia, so they kind of legal right now.
Oh, really? I don't know anything
Really,
about this. Wait, can you explain more? Because I don't know if I understand.
uh, what part are you interested in?
Most parts. So, what do you mean? Like they're basically legal now? They're in the prisons. They like run the prisons.
They they are government. They mayors. Uh, they have they take a government jobs. Basically, they work on government.
And people are aware of this.
Yes.
They're like he's def. Or is this just an expression? Like the government is like a mafia, or it's real.
Well, basically, what I mean by mafia, mafia basically by definition, it's people who refuses to pay taxes, basically.
Uh huh.
If you don't pay, if you have a business and you don't have you, you not intend to pay taxes, you are mafia, and it's not only since or guys like that. Mostly it was just businessmen who
Yeah.
didn't pay to government because our government never returns back our taxes, and most people right now don't pay the taxes.
Like
It's
most of the
kind of
general. Uh huh. Sorry.
uh, most of the self-employed people, and why the people who was mafia now rule government, it's obvious because if you want to really stable business, you need some legislation, but if government never returns back your taxes, it's very simply and easiest way to become a government yourself, and all your problems would be solved. So they became a government, and it's on the all levels of our government. I mean, even you may you might be know our president Putin. He's actually works for national corporations.
Right.
He never worked for people for 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 mere mortals. He
Mere
works for
mortals.
yeah, he works for national corporations and big business. So and he actually was how um, he worked in intelligence services for Soviet Union. So he also a sin former sin.
Wow. So, y- do you find that most politicians in Russia are much richer than the general public?
Yes, definitely.
And are these people rich because before they get into office, like so they work with corporations like Putin, or are they people that they kind of get rich while they're in politics, or both?
Yes, mostly they were working or government or well they just they all had sources very good sources to earn money, and it's not just money like me and you. They they earned very very precious resources like oil,
Mhm.
like gold,
Right.
brilliance, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Politics. Here, actually, here in Argentina, the politics are really dirty, and really corrupt.
Where name one place on earth where politics are not dirty.
But here it's like even worse, I think. The people get
Uh,
rich while they're in government. So I have to call.
oh no, in that case you're you're mistaken. They they actually dirty well wherever wherever you c- can speak about politicians. They dirty in any spot on this planet on this
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's definitely true. You were definitely correct.
I mean why people become politicians at all. They they basically solve their own problems by doing that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But what happens here is you see a lot of politicians putting up hotels. So you'll have like a politician who's like the mayor of the city, and he'll have a hotel. Actually, the president also, she has a hotel in the south. And then none of the income for these hotels are ever registered because they are, of course, laundering money through these hotels. But it's so obvious. There's in the newspaper every day. It's like 500 million pesos go unregistered in any form, like laundered through this hotel, which has never had a client or never had a customer. And it's just in the newspaper and nothing changes. It's just they just tell us about the corruption and nothing happens. It's crazy. We all know about it, just nothing happens.
Well, it is actually good that there is a good press in Argentina
Yeah.
who actually spread some light. How to say that?
Yeah, shed some light. That was good.
Yes, shed some light on situation. We don't have that.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. It's like everybody's in the dark.
Yeah.
Yikes. All right, let's actually this article today is kind of related to everything we're talking about. So let's do this. Let's just start the conversation. I want to ask you about, and I'm not sure if in Siberia there would be a lot of beggars, but in your country in general, are there a lot of beggars?
Uh, when I lived in Moscow, I saw many beggars
When you were where?
in Moscow.
Uh-huh.
I lived in Moscow for some time.
Uh-huh. There were a lot of beggars. And how do people usually treat the beggars?
Usually indifferently.
Is it common to like give people money, or do people usually ignore them?
Usually, for example, um, I am myself when I want uh, to get rid of some coins that just bothers me in my pockets. I would throw it to beggars.
Sorry, I missed that last part. You would give or you wouldn't?
I would give, but not
Mm,
so much.
right, like a
And
couple coins.
many people do that things.
Good. All right, so do you think it's a good idea to give beggars money?
Mm, I never thought about that really. Mm, really, intentionally, wouldn't give so money to beggars intentionally.
Uh-huh.
It just when I gave beggars money, it was just spontaneously. I just it was like, oh, there is some coin in my pocket, and I actually don't need it. And it was when I saw a beggar, so I just cleaned my pocket by doing that.
Right. So this wasn't. It's not necessarily. So do you think it's a bad idea, or do you think it's probably a good idea to give money in the long run? I mean, in the big picture.
Uh, I don't. I think it's a complicated
Mm-hmm.
question.
Yeah.
I don't know what way got a beggar to ask for money, to ask for donation to make a living. So I just can't judge in that particular situation.
I think that's a good point because there's different reasons why people are begging for money. Another question I have for you: do you ever see children, or did you ever see children begging for money in Moscow?
Um, Really, no. In Moscow, no. I saw in Krasnoyarsk and Abakan. It's, it is where in region where I live right now. I saw children who who was praying for money, but I don't know why would they ask for money.
Children? Okay, so this is something I think is interesting about Argentina in general. Mostly Buenos Aires, because there's so many people here. Is children are usually begging. They're usually the beggars. They go on the trains and they walk around and they ask for money, and it's because their parents are sending them to do that. And when their parents send them to do that, these kids don't go to school. And parents here, if you're like on low class system, you get paid money for every child you have. So if you have one kid, you get extra money from the government per month. So what a lot of people end up doing is they end up having loads of kids, and then they get money for those kids every month, and then they send all those kids out to different trains to beg for money, and it's really sad. And you don't know what to do, because when you see these kids on the trains, you feel so terrible, because they're like, sometimes they're 3 years old, just walking by themselves with their sister or brother, asking for money.
I also don't like that.
No. And it's the parents. It's not the children don't want money. Children don't need money.
To me, children, it's a big responsibility, and I just have no any respect for that for their parents. I didn't know about that.
Right. But also, these parents don't understand. They just think having children is just what you do. And not only that, do you want to know what they put in baby bottles here? They don't give children milk. When you see these kids on the train, they'll have little baby bottles. And what's in the baby bottles? Coca-Cola.
Mm.
They're all
Yeah.
drinking Coke. So then they're all malnourished, and their brain functions don't work. It's like a terrible, it's a mess. It's a total mess. The poverty system here is a mess. It's bad. I mean, it's, similar to a lot of places in South America, but it's just pretty bad. All right, so we're going to read this article. Let's do a little bit of vocabulary first. This is not a very hard lesson. It's like a low intermediate lesson. So can you see these words, or are they too tiny?
The, the government wants to ban smoking in public places, make illegal, I
Good.
suppose. The book very controversial. If people disagree with the author's ideas. B, I think.
Good.
He thanked them for their kindness and support. And the quality of being friendly and generous.
Good.
She didn't believe me. She accused me of lying. D.
Good.
And it is illegal to drive without license. It is against the law.
Good. That one's not so difficult. Okay, so let's read this article, and then we'll do some true false. I'm going to make this big. And today you will read the whole article. All right, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. Now, Norway proposes to ban beggars and people who try to help them. Norway's justice minister said the law is needed to stop people who run begging networks as an organized business. Norway has proposed a controversial new law. In the new law becomes If the new law becomes a reality, it will be illegal to help beggars on the streets. If this happens, people who offer money or food to beggars can go to prison for between 6 months to a year, and organized begging will become a crime. City authorities in Oslo are angry about the proposal, but Norway's Justice Minister Andres uh, Anundsen says the law was needed to help people who run begging networks as an organized business. Norway's parliament started debating the ban on begging last year be- because of the high number of beggars on the streets. Individual councils are already able to ban begging, but now the government wants a nationwide ban. Inger ha- Hasby from Oslo often invites homeless people into her house. She is afraid that her kindness will become illegal if the proposal becomes a law. They have stayed here several times, she said. I give them a packed lunch and I fill their cups with cocoa. I wash their clothes when they need it, and they come for dinner from time to time. Karin Anderson, a member of parliament for the Socialists Left Party, tweeted her anger at the proposal and accused the government of criminalizing poor people. Europe's richest country criminalizes Europe's poorest people, she said.
Okay, let's look at these true and false. Will you go ahead and read them and decide whether they're true or false?
Okay. Under the under the proposed law, people who offer money or food to beggars can go to prison for up to years, for half a year. It's
Good.
false. The government proposed the new law because there are too many beggars on the streets. Yes,
Good.
true. Norway's parliament started debating the ban on begging 5 years ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll go back.
Last year.
Good.
At the moment, begging is legal everywhere in Norway. Uh, yeah, no, no. The new law is controversial. Yes, obviously.
That one.
Norway is Europe's richest country. I thought it was Denmark.
Yeah, I don't know. It says it here, Europe's richest country, but I don't know if that's true. According to this article, that's what she
Well,
said.
Um, I thought it was Denmark, but maybe they just have less taxes than in Denmark. Yeah, because in Denmark you basically pay 60% from your
Really?
income.
What?
Yeah,
60?
yes, 60.
That's insane. Why?
No, it is not insane in that situation. Um, uh, they pay it, but they have real medicine, real education, um, real government services. They really many social guarantees, including retirement guarantees, many
Oh, so you're
insurance.
like protected. You're really protected. You're paying for your own protection.
Yeah, they really it's a it's a good approach for such small country like Denmark.
Yeah, I guess that is a good
Because
idea. Yeah.
here I either way pay 60% from my from my income because I have an insurance. I have to do some investments to for the future and, and for things like that. So I think it's fair in Denmark.
How is the health system like in Russia?
Oh, you wow! You asked me once again
I asked you, but
about
I
the.
can't remember. It's bad, right? You're not happy with it.
Yes, I'm not happy with it. I remember how you know noticed that in Argentina they they start to heal you without actually asking your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting.
So this is like the biggest thing about paying taxes. I mean, I don't really pay any taxes here, so because I don't make much money, you need to reach a limit in order to pay taxes, right? So I wouldn't mind paying taxes if I knew that I was going to be protected by, especially with health insurance. That's like my biggest thing. When in the United States, you pay about 35% of, like, you have to pay 35% to your, between 25 and 35 to the government in federal taxes. And you get no protection. You get no health, like free health insurance, no socialized health insurance. My country is the worst. There's so many idiots in my country who are like, no, socialism. Yeah, it's communism.
Really, I don't know why I've never been in. I've never been to United States.
It's the
Maybe
worst.
maybe in the future, if I if I decide to sign a contract that was proposed to me, maybe I would feel what it would like to be an U.S. Resident, but really
Wow.
I'm not intend to.
No, it's really not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I also think so.
There are a lot
I
of
actually
wonderful.
know I know a lot of people, Americans who live in European countries because they have more they basically have government issued guarantees about health, about insurance, about things like that. They usually live in Spain and
Mhm.
Portugal, and some of them in Germany, in the really yeah, I talked with one. Uh, he said that he just he don't want to leave his United States yeah, passport to
Yeah,
to refuse citizenship. So he just got citizenship in one of European countries who allows to have double citizenship.
oh
and
nice.
he did it kind of if U.S. government would know about that, he would lose his citizenship because you can't have by U.S. By U.S. Legislation, you can't have to two citizenships in one
Nice.
time.
Wait, and where is he living now? Spain?
Uh, yes, he living in he's living in Spain, but he has another some another citizenship in European Union.
Nice. See, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we're because we're moving back to New York soon. We're gonna go next year, and it's a lot of mixed emotions because you get to go back into this whole world of American insanity. Except New York is kind of its own country, which is why New York is very, very nice and fabulous, and it's very people from all over the world. It's fun,
Yeah,
but I don't know if I'd
if
live anywhere else.
if my boss proposed me more appropriate conditions in contract, maybe maybe I would live in the in New York for a year.
Yeah. Wait, what is the contract now? Where is he offer? Where is the contract offering you to live?
In New York,
Yeah.
in not in the city, in the
Mm,
state of New York, because it's not worth it to live in New York City, because I can work kind of remotely,
right.
and I need to be there because uh, they want to pay me legally.
Ah,
Basically, now they pay me kind of gray money. They want to basically they want to have guarantees that I not disappear when they have uh, some important project.
right. More
I
security.
Yeah, more they want to have more guarantees, and I understand why. Because for example, right now I can just take another job and say them goodbye, guys, and they just lose money to find a new contractor.
Right. Right. I can see that. Mm, what a interesting thing to be able to go to New York. But you would be living in the state, you said. So I guess that's yeah. Because living in New York City is super expensive, which is why we're so doubtful. Because to get like an apartment there is and it's a very expensive amount of money.
I know, I know.
um, okay, let's match these words that we saw.
Okay. Uh, propose for dinner.
I- that would be a totally different article.
Okay, propose a law.
Good.
Go for dinner. Uh, become reality. Come to prison. Offer money and food.
Good, that works. I wanted to tell you, I created and was approved of doing a curse word lesson. So it'll be only curse words in English, the whole class. I asked my boss, I was like, I have an idea to do this class, but I don't know if you want it because, it's his website. I don't know if he wants that kind of reputation. But he was like, no, it's fine.
Cool.
So in a couple weeks, we'll be able to learn all about all different terrible, dirty expressions.
Really, I would I would advise you to to shift your time for a couple hours forward,
What time?
because I'm not talking about me. For me, it is evening time. I can I can do it anywhere. But for you, it's more worth it to up some hours forward, a couple, maybe 3 hours, because most most learners, they are from they are from South America, and the time for them inconvenient.
What, 9 a.m.?
No, well, they at their job right now, I suppose.
It's true. I know. But the other thing is that if I do it a couple hours later, then I'm at my job
Oh, yeah.
because I'm on my bike.
No, I'm just saying, if you want more students in your class.
I don't mind. I don't mind having a few students in my class. I find it easier.
No,
Um,
to me, it is completely fine, because I'm actually having a personal lesson for nothing. For
I
nothing.
know. I know. It's fantastic for you. I know and they don't really offer. I don't know what Linguistico is doing because they used to have so many teachers and now they don't have many teachers. And it was because of this exact thing. They don't offer like any hours. They'll offer you like 1 hour a day, which is really difficult for people to work around a different schedule for 1 hour a day. Or if they gave you two classes, they would give you class, for example, at 9 a.m. and then at 11. So they'd give you 1 hour in the middle. And it would just be easier to do like 9 and then 10. Just have two classes in a row, make more of your time. So
I
yeah.
suppose they just right now, they just don't have a good marketplaces to sell their services to
Yeah, I don't
students.
know why, because it's a pretty good service. I'm not really sure how they're making any money off of this though.
Because I suppose just from investors. um,
Maybe.
for my in my opinion, but maybe they just the, it's a better version of service. Maybe they just do just a trial period to try what it looks like to run such service.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they plan it in long term perspective, not in
I wonder.
just in a half a year. But really, if this market very big, they can just develop some local market, like Buenos Aires, for example.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm not really sure how they make any money because they charge you guys what, $1 a class or something, and then there's like a free trial. So I'm not sure how anybody's making any money. There's no advertisers on the page. I don't know.
I
Something
think
that
they just do a trial period. And by the way, in such classes, I suppose such classes they kind of marketing tool. Because really, if you even have nine students in class, it would be $9
right,
per class. More, for example, I wouldn't pay more than $1 for such lessons because we actually usually with people like me who learn languages, we just set up our own lessons, who already from people who from intermediate level, they already, you can just type in Hangouts, in Hangout search box, and you'll find many Hangouts where people just hang out with each other and learn English using books or presentations
right.
like so.
Yeah, so
Really, I think it's just a marketing tool to attract for your personal lessons,
I
to
don't know.
sell personal lessons.
Right, because of course the benefit is you're speaking with somebody who is a native speaker. So you have like
Yeah,
native pronunciation, native intonation, all that. But really, I mean, I always said like learning a language is there's so many resources to learn for free.
yeah, it's all all at our fingertips.
Yeah, it's all really easy. Although I do think when I have a class one on one with somebody, like if I'm sitting in a room with them and speaking with them, they end up getting more out of it. I'm not sure why, but they end up getting more out of it because you're in the same environment and then you can talk about the same things that are in the same environment, right? So things aren't so abstract. But and then it becomes like a real conversation, like you're speaking face to face to somebody. But I do think that it's almost just as good to have the internet. Sometimes better.
Yeah,
I sometimes give better lessons when I have the computer.
frankly, when I speak with you, for example, I'm working on my accent. That's why I speak very very slowly when I speak with you. But when I speak with my boss, for example, I speak with a Russian accent
Right.
because I don't have time to correct it. But really, I did a great job this month, and it's I'm more fluent when I speak with my boss, and not I don't have so right now I don't have so horrible accent like
No, your
I
accent's very
like
easy.
I had months ago.
The only thing, and this is not because it's your accent. This is how I have friends who speak like you, very monotone. So this becomes really difficult. This is just your personality. It's just to speak kind of monotone. Like you don't like go up and down and up and down. Like I speak and I change my tone all the time.
No. I just I speak monotone because I I work on my accent right now.
Uh-huh.
Right
Okay.
now in this moment when I speak with you, because you kind of you are a teacher, and
I can allow myself to speak with you with such intonation.
Right,
but
exactly.
when I speak with just with some guys, I speak with intonation and just I have an accent when I speak.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean, I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. One of my best friends, he speaks. He almost doesn't open his mouth when he speaks. He kind of speaks like this. Everything is really low, and so it's only native speakers can understand him because, and I sometimes can't understand him. I'm like, open your mouth and use some intonation. But this is just, it's kind of like a way a lot of American men speak sometimes. It's very monotone. I don't know. It's like
Well,
it's a personality thing.
yeah, maybe. Really, in my personality, I'm really fluent in my native language, and I
Well, of
speak
course, I would hope.
really, really fast and rhythmic because I need to speak rhythmic
Right. Exactly.
because because it just that works for my, how to say that, my for my usual appearance. It not works to speak monotonely and and slowly. It more works for big guys, for you know, for big fat, maybe for big fat guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sometimes works to speak slowly, but for me it not work because I'm kind of short and small guy. I need to speak faster
I,
to be more confident.
oh, I like that
To seem
theory.
to be more confident. Yeah.
Sure, people need to speak faster. Perfect. All right. Well, cool. I'm glad that you got to have a. We just had to have a little chat today. This class was too easy for you, so but I thought it was an interesting um, topic about beggars being illegal and or not being legal. Would you ever invite a homeless person into your house to eat?
Uh, I suppose no, no.
And why not?
Mm, I would give that homeless person some bread or some money to eat and in another place.
Yeah.
Uh, because I'm not tend to to allow my just my acquaintances to go to my home. Usually, I meet my friends somewhere in.
Oh, okay. So it's a totally different
Uh,
theory.
no, I suppose it's not a cultural thing. It's just my personality.
No, that's what I'm saying. It is. It's like your thing is to go. You go out, and I guess
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
because usually in my home it's
It's a
usually
mess. It's a disaster.
mess. Yeah, mess, disaster, and well, what we call yeah, uh, uh, art disaster. Uh,
Ah, like a beautiful disaster.
maybe beautiful disaster. Like artistic people usually not tend to to watch for themselves uh, when they into their thoughts when they work.
Right. Exactly. No, it's true. I'm a total mess, but I try to. If I am organized, if I try to be organized, I get more done, and I can actually take advantage a little bit more of my creativity. So I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to be more organized. It's something that my boyfriend, he's very organized, and he hates it. He hates that I'm such a mess. I think that's like our number one fight is that I'm a total disaster. Or
Yeah.
differences in
Well,
organ.
it's all because you can control yourself because you have a boyfriend who very organized.
Yeah.
I
So I have some
actually
help.
I couldn't do that with my former girlfriend because she was also she was
She's
also
also a mess.
a very messy person. Yeah.
All right, Anton. Thank you for having a little chat with me today. Um, we'll see what happens with Linguistico. See if they change my schedule soon.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk
Thank
to you
you.
soon.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Goodbye. Have a fantastic day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.